Hi, we're here from High Tech Investment and welcome back to the channel. It is once again time to have a look at the Profit Retriever results. Over the past 4 weeks, we need to find the top 10 results in here. And on top of that, we're also going to have a look at the top 5 for the individual weeks. This is definitely the video series you don't want to miss, especially if you are interested in trading the Profit Retriever. It will tell you a bit about exactly what are the most stable results, where is the profit coming from. So if you are interested in starting your own basically trading, so with the Profit Retriever here, or you want to go to the copy-link service through Expert4X, definitely you can't get around this video here. You need to have a look and see which ones are actually producing, which ones are not. So let's get into it and figure out exactly which ones has been the best for the week. Now the top 5 of week 24 here, so it seems to be very much dominated by index and metal. There was a bit of financial information coming out this particular week, and even though it was actually decided here that the interest rate in US was going to stay at the same point, it still made quite a few waves, and we also saw a couple of currency pairs this particular week that started to trend again, and trending is definitely not something the Profit Retriever likes. It likes the waves, it likes the spikes, as long as it comes back to where it used to be, or at least close by. Now the US 30, we have mentioned this many times, and it seems to do extremely well here on the Profit Retriever. This week we have the US 30 number 2 up here, $834, 8.3% for the week, and that is definitely quite high. The US 30, another one which has different settings completely, also did extremely well this week, $537 or 5.4%. And then we have the gold. So also here, the metals seems to be doing okay, $471 or 4.7%. And then we have the first Forex pair, basically US Swiss francs, which is quite a good of a stable one, but we don't always see it up here in the top 5. It did $437 or 4.4%, so well done for that. And then we can see once more the FTSE 100, so the UK one index here, also managing $437 or 4.4%. Overall, for the top 5 in here, if you would have traded those for the past week, you would have made $2,715 or 5.4%, and we're still only talking about the week. Now, you can obviously find a lot more info and details on our website, and we always post the last couple of weeks, and you see them actually here on the screen. And if you go into details, you can see which ones exactly on the top 5 week by week. And below you have our video series here, that if you also take a look at that, it's not very long. We try to keep it as short as absolutely possible, just to give you the essentials here, so you can actually figure out what currencies you want to trade itself. Then that is the place to go and find more information. On top of this, we also have the monthly results, so you can have a look at those, put it together with the video series we have here. And if you need even more details, you can click on the portfolio trading overview here. That will provide you every single detail you want, day by day, hour by hour. And then obviously you also cannot ignore again the description in red that tells you exactly what type of money you need to trade the Profit Retriever with. And obviously also, especially when it comes to index and metals, you need a bigger account for that, because again, lot sizing is a lot different. So on index and metal, it goes from difference from broker to broker, where Forex is a bit more standard, yeah. But then again, sometimes you get surprised, and that's why you should always start off with the demo account to figure out exactly how this works, no matter which EA you have. Now let's jump to the Excel we have here and figure out which ones are actually cruising on top. We know we have about 3 new entries for this particular week, and it is a fierce battle in around the top 10 to top 15. So we can see that it's been a very tight part from people or EAs that are actually producing somewhere around 5 to 8 or 9%. So let's get started. Let's get into it. So the Excel here looks like it has been almost ever since we started here. We have number 1 to 10. So from the left hand side, we have all the different indexes, Forex metals, and then we have the individual links here. We have some which still has account number, means that we haven't actually put them on. for the coupling service yet. We have the week 21 to 24 over here, and then we have the total sum for the individuals and also overall here for all 10 currency pairs, and then total in percentage, and then the top 5 we're going to have a closer look at a bit later. So we're starting off with the US 30, the number 2, basically link 107C, and that has been doing quite well, but as you can see, not every single week. Week 21 was basically $6 and then $1,669, and then the week after it was 10, and then again up to 833. And that is pretty much what we see many times here with the index trading. It comes and goes. So definitely don't get despaired just because you have a week or two where it doesn't cash in anything. It's going to come back and hopefully cash in all the way through. And as you can see, total sum for just 4 weeks, $2,519 or more than 25%. So definitely that is a very good one for top 1, which was actually top 2 last week. Now the other US 30, they basically swap. So this is link 53C. It was number 1 last week, but basically it couldn't cope with week 22 and week 24 here compared to the other index trading. But again, also here you can see week 21, $18, and then it comes in 791, 275, 537. Extremely strong numbers week on week. Total sum $1,621 or 16.22%. So definitely also up there with the best. Gold continues to impress. It was number 5 last week. Now it is squeezing itself into the top 3, and you can see why. It is basically just cashing in. For the last 3 weeks, it has done more than $400, and overall total sum $1,459 and 14.6%. That is definitely approved. The first forex pair we have is the Aussie USD. Is always doing good, also normally even when it's trending. So the grid here is very tight, and that also means it is able of trying to cash in even though we have a bit of trending. Link 83C, it was number 6 last week, so that one has also moved up a bit. And even though week 21 was not very good with $90, it has done a lot better in the last couple of weeks. And you can see here more than $750 in the last 2. Overall for the 4 weeks here, $1,059 or 10.52%. So definitely up there. Aussie Japanese, this one has actually gone into a bit of a drawdown. It was number 4 last week, so it had to move down but stayed in the top 5. Link 98C. It has been doing quite well all the way through, but after the latest news here, it has basically gone into a drawdown. That's also why you see a big fat 0 in here. But still, if you would have traded this one over the last 4 weeks, you would have made $1,020 or 10.21%. And that is basically the top part that we have at the end of the day in here. And what you can see is if you would have traded the top 5 overall, you would have made $7,673 for those 5 signals in here, or 15.35%. So again, a very good average all the way through. So going to number 6, and that is also the other Aussie Japanese number 2 link, 129. That has also managed to go into a bit of a drawdown together with 98 here. They were 3 and 4 last week. And unfortunately, it looks like both of them could be dropping down the list, at least for a week or 2. But overall, they still managed also here $1,017 or 10.17%. I have to say again, these 2 signals are differently. They are not started at the same time either. But as you can see, it is doing quite well and stable no matter the settings. Number 7 is now here the CAD Swiss francs. It was number 9 last week, and I actually managed to move up a bit, and it continues to cash in more than $100 a week. And overall, it actually did $818 or 18.19%. So definitely very good for that particular forex pair here also. We have the second one, also Swiss francs in here, which is number 8, and that actually came from number 16, so really jumping up the list. But this is what I mentioned here before, that there is a fierce battle. So around the number 10 to 15, or even as you can see here, 16, they are all cashing in very, very similar amounts. Even though week 21 was not a very good week with only $10, it came really good here. And week 24, it did $436. Overall, $773 or 7.73%. Very, very good for that particular signal here. The FTSE 100 also peaking in. Again, this is also one of these indexes that it goes into a bit of a drawdown. It comes back a week or two later. And that's what we have here. It actually managed the top 9, even though it hasn't produced anything for week 21 and 22. But when it does, it's going to come good, and ended up with $759 or 7.6%. So definitely good when you're considering it's only traded for pretty much 2 weeks. Euro New Zealand, link 56. Also a good one. It did go into a bit of a drawdown. It has been extremely stable over time. It did well in week 21 and then very weak in 22, 23. But again, it comes back, and over a period of 4 weeks, then it made $704 or just over 7%. It came from 12th position. So again, these ones here is fierce battles in that area at the moment. Now, if we look at week 21, we can see that that was quite low, 1,174. And only 1.17%, so definitely not the best. But week 22 came good and was also the high jumper here for the 4 weeks that we are looking at, with 4,595 or 4.6% for the individual week. Week 23 is again a bit low, but most probably a bit more where we are supposed to be, $2,419 or 2.42%. And then week 24 was actually better than we first expected, $3,557 or 3.56%. Overall, if you would have traded these 10 signals over the past 4 weeks, as I just mentioned to you before here, you would have made $11,747 or 11.75%. And that is definitely as stable as it gets. And definitely stability is the key when we are talking about this particular video series here. That is what I am trying to basically show everyone. And I can see more and more people are actually understanding how to use this. We get quite a few emails and obviously also comments on our YouTube channel sometimes, but a lot of emails saying, you know, thank you, we are really using this here and it is beneficial to us. And that is really great to hear. And again, you can see the last many weeks video results. So this particular week here, we ended up with 11,000 also. Week 23 was 11,000. Week 22 was 11,000. Week 21 was 12,000 and week 20 was 13. And I believe ever since we started this particular series here, we have been somewhere between 9 and 13,000 over a 4-week period, trading the top 10 results. And that is what this particular video is all about, showing the stability. You can see most of the signals, they are not being replaced all the time. So you will have some that are battling out, but most of the ones will be cashing in. Don't give up on the individual signals just because they don't do anything for a week or two. You have to look at the bigger picture, as I always say. But again, this is not trading advice. This is not investment advice. So please make sure that you make your own decisions. You can simply use this information material from our trading and our experience in here. And then it's up to you to come up with the individual trading portfolio that you want to use. Instead here, you can always put in some high risk, medium and low risk. It all depends on exactly how you want to build it. But as you can see, the Profit Retriever normally works best when we are talking about portfolio trading, because sitting and looking at the individual trades day to day is pretty boring when it comes to the Profit Retriever. So once again, I really hope that you got something out of this video. Please leave a comment, a like, and give us a thumbs up, please. So to make sure that that you like the video contents here, and hopefully I'll see you next week again on the next series. Bye-bye.